Okay. Yeah, keep the sticks rolling. Hey, bitch, I be hot, me and money got tied. She come in steps, but I'm never surprised. I don't know, trust him, they all go for size.
Schools.
What's Gucci, bro?
Legend.
So well.
How's your week been, bro?
Hey, it's been okay if you do, but the past 2 days were bad at work, or very bad at work, dog. But otherwise, I'm still pushing, dog.
Schools, how's your week been?
Wonderful, bro. We give thanks to the Most High. You know, we got to get through another week. It's a weekend. I'm down, bro. I'm ready for this weekend, even though I don't want to watch my team. But
Yeah, I was about to say, bro, even though, excuse me, even though like your team had lost, you don't care about the results no more, bro.
I'm numb to football, yeah, bro. I'm numb.
You looking forward to next season, boy?
Yeah. Fast forward,
in the championship, baby. Hey, we don't know.
Fast forward to next season, bro. But yeah, bro, it's also been like a crazy week in football. Started with your legend, Messi.
Yeah,
what's been happening there?
Yeah, fit. Things are not going good at PSG. Fit. Like that whole club is a shit show, man. Like you say, there's no discipline. Players are missing training. Now it's Messi getting suspended after his trip to Saudi Arabia. Apparently, the trip was like pre-planned. Yeah, so it was cancelled before, but now he said that's according to the the statement they released. Yeah, but he couldn't cancel it again. Yeah, so he had to be there. And he thought he was gonna get like off day the next day from practice or the match. Yeah, so it's a tough one for you, but I think Messi is already like his mind somewhere else. For you. I don't think his mind is still at PSG.
Yeah, because we saw reports of him saying, that he's not gonna sign the extension that's on the table. So, Schools, where do you think what do you think he's thinking? Is he thinking back to Spain?
He's going back home, baby. He's going back to Catalonia, I think. I think that's where he wants to be. I'm not sure if Barca's going to be able to pull it off financially, but I think they'll work something out, bro. Because as much as he'll be expensive to bring back in terms of wages, but having him back in Catalonia will also bring in a lot of income for Barcelona, I think. So we'll see, bro. But I think his heart is set for Barcelona, or maybe, as we were speaking before, he should just go back home to Argentina.
Yeah.
Call it a career, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Not to be honest, I'm leaning more towards like News Old Boys. I think he has to go back where it started for him before he went to La Masia. So I really think he must go back to Argentina, just settle with his family, and because he has nothing else to prove. And I feel like if Barca shouldn't sign him, I think they should move on because they already have Alba and Busquets, like the old guard of the team, and I think they're trying to phase them out as well. So signing Messi, as much as he's a legend at the club, but I feel like it's time to move on.
Yeah, and also, funny now, speaking about an Argentinian, a GOAT Argentinian, Diego Maradona's old team has finally won the Scudetto again, bro, after, how many years?
1990 years.
33 years.
33 years, bro. So that's a major one as well. And finally, someone outside of Juventus and the Milan clubs has actually, won that Scudetto. So well done to Napoli, man.
Also, shout out to the African boy, Osimhen, for being, I guess he's going to be the MVP, league MVP in Serie A. Did amazing. I think even the fans there are making you an idol now. So shout out to Napoli, shout out to Spalletti as well.
Like I'm so happy for Napoli got to win the title. I think I've said this before on the show that I have a soft spot for Nazir in Napoli since Cavani was there. So it's like they've been close a couple of times, but now that they could win it like convincingly against Juventus and Milan. I'm very proud of them.
They won it convincingly, bro.
Shout out to them, and also playing a style of football that you like, Legend.
Definitely.
Going forward, attacking. And then a record breaker, another record been broken by the Android. The Android now is on 35 goals this season.
Yeah.
Still with 4 or 5 games left.
Five games left.
So he scored more goals than Chelsea, man.
One man, bro. And I can't believe they were pundits and and people on podcast shows but saying
Bro, don't-
he will score like 50 goals.
Look to your left, bro.
I knew it, bro.
This guy was
I
saying,
knew it.
Yeah,
I'm not sure about the Bundesliga. I'm not sure about
Yeah, dude.
Bundesliga tax.
Like I remember it was me who scores in bombs fit. Like we were saying, yeah, fuck, Haaland fit. This kid's the future. No. Obviously, like he was scoring goals in Austria. We're like, okay, so he moved to Dortmund fit. And he's scoring goals
Thanks.
again. We were like, this kid to fit. Like to fit. This kid is the future. Feel like,
What
dog.
did I say,
And then
bro?
it was like, nah, man. It's like, guys,
saying it to us,
we
bro.
all know Bundesliga.
Yeah,
Our
okay.
dog, he's a striker. Fit.
Guys,
He's scoring
No,
goals.
but to be fair on scores, he's just traumatized by, like, even myself, no more Dortmund players,
Yeah,
you know,
bro.
but he's the one of the few that
Yeah.
showed him. So, and also when City buy from Dortmund, it's always like,
Yeah.
not from Bundesliga, it's always like good players anyway, yeah, bro.
Facts.
Haaland,
Nah, bro.
KDB,
I
you
knew
know
the
what?
kid was a beast, bro. My thing was just like, I'll talk when I see it, bro. Because I've been excited about Bundesliga players before.
Been traumatized.
Yes, bro. Hey, but shout out to
What
Timo
what-
Werner.
He scored against my team. He scored against legendary team.
Mine,
He hasn't scored against Chelsea though. He hasn't. Yeah, he
Yeah,
hasn't scored
they
against
must
Chelsea.
still play for.
They're still playing them?
Yeah, they
Oh,
talking next
snap.
week.
Yes.
Okay.
Next week at the empty head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So fit now, like shout out to Haaland. Fit.
Shout out to
Like,
Haaland.
like 35 goals in the Premier League season. Fit. It's never been done before. So
Yeah.
shout out. Fit.
And it's not done yet,
And it's
bro.
not
It's
done,
not done
man.
from
But
the
shout out to him
So
because-
like he's already scoring 35 and overall I think he has like 51, 52.
In all
So
company, yeah.
definitely next season he has to at least crack 65 next season.
Right,
And I
crazy
think
numbers.
and I think he will. Fit.
Yeah, of course, bro. We can't say no, you will, bro. You've seen like the amount of chance they make for him and the goals that he's
Yeah.
scoring. It's amazing. And the biggest boss is back in the Premier League legend. Big Sam Allardyce.
Yeah, so
Big Sam.
Like, where was he hiding, Fit? Like,
Big Sam, bro.
and it's
Like,
so typical of him to show up in a relegation field.
Big Sam, yeah, bro. Big Sam was having tea with his grandkids.
Dog,
bro.
like,
Yeah.
he saw Leeds calling, like, say, hey, we need you, dog.
It's
Like,
time.
I wonder what was his reaction because he knew Leeds, like, went for these, like, hipster football coaches. He was like, Leeds,
Yeah.
look at that. Yeah, well, so, hey.
Even Everton, when they were trying to play that fancy
Yeah,
football,
they went to Big
like,
Sam for
Big
him.
Sam. Chelsea, maybe we're missing out there, you know?
But you know what? Steve Bruce is available, Fit.
Nah.
So,
Yeah. You know the crazy thing about Big Sam
Relax.
is that Big Sam was playing in the era of Fergie,
dog.
Arsene
Yeah,
Wenger,
yeah.
the
Bolton.
Mourinhos,
And it's still
everyone,
here
and it's
for
still
me.
here, bro.
And funny enough, he had like one of the most entertaining teams,
Mm.
like with
Bolton.
the Bolton, like Georgie
Kevin Nolan.
yeah, bro.
Yeah.
So fit like
Was it
but-
Kevin Nolan?
Yeah, it was Kevin
yeah,
Nolan.
yeah, it was
Yeah,
there for
JJ
him.
Okocha was there with him.
Pretty
All of
nice
them.
team.
Yeah, that man's been everywhere.
Juve,
That man's been everywhere in the Premier League. Newcastle as well when they were still like
yeah.
average. But yeah,
So what happens to him if he
What?
survives relegation? Do you think he gets another crack at the job? Like
then he
this
has
season?
to, bro. He has to, bro.
Because look here, bro. Look who Leeds have, for example, man. We're going to get into that as well. But he has Man City, Newcastle, West Ham, and Spurs.
Nah.
That would be the
You know what I
greatest
would
game.
like to see? Like, the nastiest deep block I've ever seen against Ben Slinky.
Oh yes, because you invested there, bro.
the
You want
deepest,
Yeah.
you want him to do well, right?
yeah, definitely the
Yeah.
deepest of the deepest deep blocks ever.
Like, don't attack at all.
Don't
just stay-
attack, just stay
One
inside
side.
at the box.
Of
Yeah,
11.
Stay there.
but nah, man, like shout out to Big Sam. I think Leeds fans will have hope that they'll survive just because of getting Big Sam.
It's,
man.
but yeah, gents, like on today's episode, we just decided to, leave the regular Premier League chat from the top and just focus on the bottom, what's been happening at the underground, talking of all things relegation today, right?
Yeah.
And our first, let's just run through the teams first who are got a big threat of going down,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, man. So the log is looking like this. 20th is Southampton on 24 points. Everton is 19th on 29. Nottingham Forest is 18th on 30. And then Leeds, Leicester, West Ham are 17th, 16th, and 15th respectively. And Leeds and Leicester 30 points and West Ham 34 points. Then we have Wolves at 14 on 37 points and Bournemouth on 13th and Chelsea on 12th with 39 points.
But we said for the sake of the episode, we're gonna focus on teams at 14th, right?
Yeah.
Downwards,
from West
right?
Ham down.
Yeah, and like the first question that we as the gents want to focus on is like the big teams, right? We said like out of the big teams, bro, like which team is most at threat to go down? So let's start there. Legend. And I think also in these big teams we might have a soft spot for some of them.
Yeah.
Different ones like from us three.
Yeah.
So we will speak about them. And also I'll start with you, Legend, bro. Like which big team out of the ones that schools just mentioned there do you think?
Yes, it's dog. Like for me, like I'll go with West Ham. Like yes, West Ham.
Yeah.
Those guys, they're such a huge club, huge club, with a good like following. Obviously now they moved into this big stadium. It's not Upton Park, but man, I think they've finally found their feet at the stadium. And the thing is, like with West Ham, they have all these good players, ballers. Everyone knows West Ham as this team that used to play direct football.
Hard.
Yeah, the hard team. And now they've kind of like went away from that and signed the Pirates, the Lanzinis, Paqueta. So it's like obviously you have a soft spot for West Ham because of Green Street hooligans. But it's so sad to see like such a team fighting relegation like every season, dog. Every season. Yes, they're doing well in the Conference League with semi-finals, but in the league, they should be higher than they are at the moment.
Yeah.
But also, I feel like the lack of goals in the team is costing them. Like
Antonio.
Antonio is not the one. I think they need to move on from Antonio. But yeah,
I think we'll speak on what must happen. But I like your opening point there. So I'm gonna mention Everton. Everton on number?
They are 18th.
18th. Yeah, they are like at the bottom.
No, they're 19th.
They're 19th. Yeah. So I'm gonna speak on Everton. Bro, Everton, we know it's like they've never been relegated before, them and Arsenal, right?
Yeah.
They've never been relegated before. They're a staple club in the Premier League, bro. Goodison Park, like one of those stadiums, like in the past, not so recently, like an old school stadium, when you go there, when you went there, it's gonna be a hard game. But as of late, it hasn't been good, But also we'll speak about their problems. But yeah, that's a big team that I think is a threat to go down.
Yeah.
So over to you, Schools.
For me, former Premier League champions, bro. Leicester City. I can't believe such a well-run club as well is in the position that they're in. They've done a lot of good business over these last few years that they've been in the Premier League after winning it and everything. I was thinking that they'd definitely be this season at least challenging for Conference League. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it seems like things have gone downhill with Brendan Rodgers. But I'm really surprised to see them where they're at right now. And having watched some of their games, bro, it's looking scary hours because it's funny, they still have a lot of good players in that team. And that's also what's surprising me is that like there's nothing that really happened to the club that would have destabilized it, or you know what I'm saying, like it's been a well run and a well-oiled ship for quite a while. So it's quite weird that they are in this position, but I think it's looking scary for them as well, bro, to be honest.
I think that now also leads to a question that you develop, Legend, or said you must speak on, is that like what's next for these big clubs, right? Like why are they in this mess, rather than say, right? And then from like now, Friday until the end of the season, like what must they do? So let's start with like, I think, should we start with Everton?
Yeah,
Everton are 18th, bro. I think Everton had Carlo Ancelotti, right?
Yeah.
They had who else?
Lampard.
They had Lampard, Rafa Benitez, But the Everton as a club is a mess, bro. Like they've just spent recklessly over time. They had that billionaire owner Mushiri.
He's still there.
He's still there. Yeah, he's still there. Like his ownership, like no one will remember it like fondly as an Everton fan. I think they also want him out because the way that they've invested the money. If you can just look at the players, James Rodriguez, bro. Yerry Mina, Moise Keane, Michael Keane's not that good anymore. They've just signed players that don't fit Everton basically. And just the turnover of manager hasn't also helped them. And also, bro, like if Everton go down, they're building a new stadium as well. Like, you know what that means, Legend. You got to full seats. You got to get a good TV rights. That could mean Everton don't come back up immediately, bro. They just maybe stay there and become like a Blackburn or so, you know. So like it's looking quite scary for Everton, you know. Who do Everton have, bro? Like in the fixtures.
Everton has in the remaining games. They have starting this weekend Brighton away. Then they have after that Man City at home. Wolves away and Bournemouth at home.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not bad.
So I've just basically stated why Everton are here, but I want to hear your thoughts, Legend, and School's fit.
Obviously, dog. Like for the fact that Everton doesn't have like what's this word I'm looking for?
Direction.
A direction, fit or vision. Yeah, bro. Like look at Brighton. Brighton, they had Potter. Potter went to Chelsea. Who did they get? De Zerbi. And you look at Everton. They had Martinez, thingy, the Portuguese guy who's at Fulham now, Marcos Silva,
yeah.
They had Benitez, Carlo Ancelotti, Lampard. They had Duncan Ferguson at some point, and now they have Sean Dyche. Like, what are you trying to do? You change exactly. So you're not really giving the players time to settle in a brand of football. By the time they get to settle into a brand of football, you're already changing things. You're getting another manager with another brand of football. You understand?
Nice.
And I feel like the fact that they didn't have a backup for DCL, Calvert-Lewin, like it cost them as well. Because the midfield was a pretty solid fit with Tokore, Onana, and Allen, and Nazika, Adrissa K now. So I think the main issue is up front and at the back, because I think the midfield is fine fit.
Facts.
So, and obviously the coach was Lampard this season. So,
Lampard also left him terrible. Schools?
To be honest, bro, for me, I think to touch on what coach said, lack of vision, and direction, but also they're kind of doing what Chelsea's doing now, where you think you can just throw money at everything. The Premier League has become so competitive now that everyone's kind of got money, you know what I'm saying? If you don't really have a plan and a vision or a direction to that plan, then it can go haywire because everyone is competitive. And I think that's what's happening in the Premier League now. And I think like Chelsea's a perfect example of that, but Everton showed it before where guy came in, spent hella money on the squad without really having any sort of plan, and you can see with the managers that they've had over this last few years that there's been no real, vision. And I think it's showing now. And I think most of these big clubs that we're speaking about that are at the bottom, same issues, bro. Like West Ham even haven't spent as much money, but there's just no vision, bro, because here you have Brighton, not a huge club at all by any standards, but they had a vision and they were able to capitalize on the money that they made and reinvest it very well, you know what I'm saying? And not spending money for the sake of spending money, because that doesn't work anymore, I don't think, in the Premier League.
Like, there's no long-term plan.
Really?
There's no long-term plan at all. They're just doing everything for the now.
Sorry to I'm just thinking back to the time when they had Carlo Ancelotti. Like, okay, cool, good moment for Everton to sign Carlo Ancelotti. They had a decent finish. I think they finished like 11th then. But when you looked at the players who were getting in and also how much they cost, they also then now this season they couldn't spend because of FFP. You understand? Because I think they had Rafa as well at the time, and Rafa couldn't spend. During that time, they couldn't get the type of players, quality players, they were getting in. Because if you look at the players that they bought during that time, the Marcel Keens again I mentioned, Allen, those guys came in for like 30 million pounds,
But also, but also like when you bring in Carlo, bro, like what was your plan? You know what I'm saying? Like he's a legendary coach, I admit, but Carlo's not at that stage of his career where this is a guy you can build long-term with, And also like Everton should have never tried to be the club that just buys like players because like it's a statement signing, you know what I'm saying? They should have been bro, like if you perfect example now, I know we're not talking about teams at top, but Newcastle, they did it perfectly well. They were relegated, in recent history, you know what I'm saying? And they came back up, got new owners and whatever, and you can see the vision now with everything that's happening. That's what Everton should have done. Not try to change too much too soon, just try to buy a big player or a big name for the sake of buying a big name. Like, have an actual plan. Like, this is the manager I'm getting, this is the profile of player that he needs. But yeah, we're here
Just
now.
since I highlighted Everton, just to cap it off for Everton, I was gonna say, when you remember Everton, like, and the most successful manager in recent times, David Moyes, right? They weren't really getting like, you know, the known players. You know, they were getting players from different unknown markets. I would say hard players, and they were playing. I'm not saying like they must play like a bad type, not even bad, like just compact football. It's all good and well to play defensive football or just parking the bus type of play, like maybe Sean Dyche plays. But I was about to say, like, just leading on to Sean Dyche, he's a good manager for Everton, don't get me wrong. So if they go down, I hope they do keep him, because you can build a Sean Dyche. He's got a record, you know. But I think when the question that Legendary asked is that what next, I think they got Sean Dyche too little too late. Sean Dyche was the appointment they should have made when they hired Lampard. So they just made terrible decisions in Everton.
Facts.
They just made terrible decisions. So Leicester, or we to go to West Ham? Sorry, Leicester.
Let's go to Leicester.
Let's go to Leicester.
Yeah, Leicester, bro. It's a weird one, bro. To be honest, I can't figure it out, man. But I think a part of it, maybe a big part of it, is that they got players that feel like they're better than the club almost now. Like, you got a guy like Madison, you know, you got a guy like Tillermans.
I didn't want to leave.
You know what I'm saying? Where not I don't want to say bigger than the club, but they feel like they've kind of been held back from growing from Leicester. And I think you got a bit of that, like, discontentment from players where they feel like, let me go and you know, fly. But Leicester's like, nah, we want to get as much money as possible. So it's worked for them in the past where they've managed to get big fees for players. But I think now it's coming back to bite them, where they got players on death row and not letting them go when they really want to go. And now it's just creating a weird vibe in that team. Because when I look at them, bro, like, they're good players, bro. There's good players in that team, but something is just not right, man. Like, they're not connecting well. And it's just something that's off. But the club is a well-run club. That's why I don't really understand what's going on at Leicester, to be honest with you, bro.
Leicester, I think when they fired Brendan Rodgers, the reason why they hired Dean Smith was because they feared relegation. And they feel like Dean Smith is the guy to save them from relegation. And I think next season, if they do survive, Dean Smith won't be there. And if he is still there, and I feel like that's one of the biggest mistakes Leicester will ever make. You don't set Brendan Rodgers and then go hire Dean Smith. Yes, Brendan Rodgers at the end got down, but we all know what type of coach Brendan Rodgers is. And even their plan Leicester, where they buy players for little money and sell them at high prices. It's not working anymore. They haven't even sold like a star player in like 3 seasons or something. And these guys won the league like about 7 years ago and won the FA Cup 2 years ago. So to find themselves in this position that they are in now, I don't know what the owners are thinking as well.
I think I must state that beginning of the season, I don't think they bought a player at the start of the season, but just the recruitment wise, they didn't recruit well. When you look at the goalkeeper, Ward, he's not. I don't think that guy's Premier League quality goalkeeper. Having lost Kasper Schmeichel, that was the first mistake. Not buying a goalkeeper, and also not just freshening up the squad. But like you say, started for it just got stale at Leicester. It needed a reboot, but maybe the reboot also came a bit too late, because Dean Smith only came in like a month ago. And
they've got a tough run, bro. Fulham away, Liverpool at home, Newcastle away, West Ham at home on the last day, bro. That's gonna be tough.
Say that again, bro. So
it's Fulham away, Liverpool at home, Newcastle away, West Ham at home, bro. Last day.
And I think it's all gonna go down to the West Ham game.
Might go to the
6 points in the last game.
Facts.
Because you know how it is in the bottom. It's like the teams, like, you might not be winning, but the other teams also not winning. So might go to the final
And
day.
I also feel like it's quite unfair what they've been doing like in the recent weeks. About they can see about okay, yeah, we're going down now, and we might go to the underground. About now they're bringing back Jenny Vod.
Yeah.
Like making Vod sit bench the whole season. Then now all of a sudden you need him.
Yeah.
And the guy scoring goals. What if you guys they started him like
Before
2 months ago
2
or
months
something?
ago.
Yeah, bro.
could have been different.
Could have been different. It could have been at least maybe 15th or something. Yeah, bro.
True.
So I feel like now it's a little too late for them, and I see them going down. So
West Ham, legend.
West Ham,
What's the stadium called? Is it called the
London Stadium.
London Stadium.
London Stadium.
60,000.
60,000.
You can't like, imagine they go down 60,000. It's not like they can go back to Upton Park.
They can't. West Ham with more years can't say he hasn't been supported and backed by the owners. Yeah, but yeah, sure, he didn't get. Actually, he was back. He got the strike. He got Skamaka.
He got 2 now as well.
Yeah, got 2. Yeah, and Ings as well, actually. So he has been backed. I think with West Ham, they don't have depth in the squad. Yeah, but after the first 11, there's no one really on the bench who can make a big impact. Yeah, but so if, for example, Antonio is not scoring goals, why isn't Ings playing? Yeah, but Nansiga was this guy. Fornells is not even playing anymore. Like he's coming on and off like in the second half. Yeah, but the defense is poor. They don't really have like players that can like if they don't score. Okay, let's not concede. Shut shop. We don't concede. Get a point. We move on to the next game. So they don't have those players. They don't have the who's that guy who used to play centre mid? Noble. The Nobles. But they have Yao Rice as the player. But they don't have those hard players who would fight for the shirt. Yeah, boy, and just grind for the point. Yeah, boy. So.
It's just Rice and Cresswell, maybe Bowen that I can count.
Yeah, because even Suchek now, he's off form. He's been off form actually the whole season. So really, the only player who's been playing the midfield is Rice and maybe Paqueta. You understand? So there's 2 players. That's not enough to keep you up, or even like.
Isn't it? Yeah, sorry.
Or even like move up the table and compete. They might do it in the Conference League because of the standard they're playing against.
I like the fact that you just mentioned
in the Premier League, dog. Like.
That was my point. Is like, don't you feel like them playing 2 games a week, Sunday, Saturday, Thursday? Do you feel like maybe for a club like West Ham it's just too much?
That's why, like you mentioned, the defensive squad. Yeah, boy, it kind of like hit them hard. Because West Ham, to be honest, have been playing the European competitions. I think for the past 2 seasons.
They played Europa League last season,
and they went quite far. I think quarterfinals.
Even then, their league performance.
The league performance suffered. So it's clear now for the owners what they need to do. Yeah, for next season. But the thing is, it's up to Moyes. What does he do for the next 4 games or 3 games?
Who do they have?
So West Ham, interesting one. So they have United at home, and then they have Brentford away, and then their last 2 are Leeds at home and Leicester away. That could be tough.
You have 2 6-pointers there. There's Leeds and Leicester. They have to win those 2 games. Definitely fit. Who was the other game against?
United and
then Brentford.
They have to at least get a point against Brentford. Make sure you get a point there. Win the next 2 games.
Also they have maybe against United get 3 points playing at home. It's a home game for them.
So,
Nah,
man.
I we also need the points.
United they need to make top 4. Yeah, but West Ham, I feel
anything can happen, bro. Look, they came back from 2-0 against you guys. But
yeah, man. Yeah, West Ham, I don't know, bro. I don't know this season. Other seasons, I would have said, comfortably they'll survive. But the lack of goals, I think, is gonna cost them, bro. To be honest with you, but it will all depend on those last 2 games. I think they need to win those games. If they don't win those games, I rate at least one of those games. They go down if they don't, bro. It's that simple. Yeah, well, that's about it.
And then, the next point we have now is, what does relegation mean for these teams? So obviously, like at the bottom is like we have Southampton, we have the Evertons, we have who else? We have Nottingham Forest as well, West Ham, teams that we mentioned already.
Yeah.
So like Southampton, bro. Like I think Southampton already resigned to going down.
And the funny thing is, with West Ham, they're the team that has a long-term plan in the whole measure that's going on. Like if you compare West Ham, Southampton, and Everton, who has the better plan? It's Southampton fit. Yeah, obviously they don't have as much money as Nancy Everton, but they seem like they have the right plan. Just survive relegation, make money of these young ballers that we're signing from these high class academies. Because they're not even like producing players from the own academy anymore. The last player being, I think, Wood Plus or something. I might be missing one player, but I feel like they have enough players to make money for themselves so that they can fight for promotion next season. But definitely they go undefeated.
You get scared for teams like Southampton and Nottingham Forest because like Premier League, Premier League money is like just being in the Premier League, you get money. Then there's TV deals as well. Like I'm just worried about like West Ham becoming like they're not a club like Norwich, right? But they just might be like them where they spend 2 seasons there, come up, go down. So I'm just like scared, But also with Southampton, Southampton must get a manager in again that they can say we're gonna
let's build
it around the club vision and his vision as well, because I don't know, the next appointment just looks like it's the most vital.
I did say they have long-term plan, but remember West Ham under Pochettino, Southampton, they had like the youngsters, then they had Lallana, the Tadic, the Graziano Pele, the Unazika, Van Dijk, the Mane. This time around, they don't have those players around these young players. It's just young players. I think they now have the young squad in the Premier League. We're second, so they don't have those players that can drag the young players with them.
And like young players in their first season.
It's the young players in the first professional season. The Lavias from City Academy. The German defender as well. So I feel like they kind of like fell away from that plan. They have the young players, but they don't have the experienced players with them.
Yeah, bro. I think for me, all these clubs, bro, that we mentioned, I think what next is getting managers, bro, the right manager. I think that's what's important more than anything, because whether you're going to survive the drop or not, who you hire next is going to tell, the story of what's coming in future for your team. And I think, like you say, with Southampton, they need to go get a manager, maybe a Poch type manager that can build.
I know, man.
South America.
Any of these teams, Leicester, West Ham also in particular. Please go get Graham Potter, because he's not a bad manager.
I think they're gonna stick with the Spanish guy they have now.
He's a good coach.
He's like a decent manager, and he's good coach. The championship, he can build with these kids, and maybe get the odd experienced players here and there. So I think they're gonna stick with him and try and build with him.
But I like what School said, bro. I think you answered the question actually, School. Like with these teams, it's just about if you do stay up or or you go down. It's about consolidating. Because how many times do we hear of a team going down to the championship with no plan? Burnley had a plan, they back up, Some other teams like Sheffield, they go down for 2 seasons. Watford, for example, high and fire. Then you go to the championship, high and fire, and you go down. Sunderland, you go down 2 leagues, come back up. So it's all about consolidation, like Good says, getting in the right manager, a vision, a club vision,
Just have a vision. That's all. I promise you, like. Sometimes you just have to accept, maybe we're not gonna go up anytime soon. What do we have to do now? Let's just build let's find a manager that can take us into the right direction. Get our shit together so that by the time we're able to compete, we can go to the Premier League and be like, okay, sure, we're here and we're here to stay this time around.
Because like Nottingham Forest, they could survive. But I think they also kind of fell for that Fulham bug that they fell for a few years ago, where just trying to buy your way, to stay in the
Who did they play with?
Nottingham. Let me check.
Nottingham's a funny team with. Like Nottingham, like they can have a good match on their day. And get a result, but then they don't have those days regularly,
Yeah, they have Southampton at home, Chelsea away, Arsenal at home, and Palace away on the last day.
Damn.
Not easy.
I think they can win the next 2 games.
saying Chelsea is like a.
Just get 6 points. I think once I win those next 2 games, I think they're safe.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Don't say that.
Chelsea can go down to the relegation fight actually.
By the time maybe Nottingham Forest plays Chelsea, they might be.
They might have to speak about them being relegated.
If Bournemouth beats us, we go 13th, bruh.
And bro, shout out to Bournemouth. It's just because we thought they were gonna get relegated, but they look like they're pulling out, you know. But yeah, I think we've answered that question. Now we can just go to the chilled one, yeah, bro, where we speak about like which players fit today. Like if they do go down, we have to see them back up again. Obviously, there's obvious names like the Madisons, Declan Rice. You know, if you think they say that Tielemans, you know.
I think the Southampton kid.
Lavia,
he's definitely staying up, bro. He has to.
Just staying in Southampton, Alcaraz, he had a good game against Arsenal. I think, so that's a young baller as well that I want to see in the Premier League next season. I don't know which team.
I think this is the time where Prowse will be leaving fit. I honestly feel like this time around we'll be like leaving fit, and I can see Brighton coming in for him fit. Because they know they're about to lose Casado, they're about to lose McAllister. So I think what Prowse will be perfect for.
Sorry, even the Southampton goalkeeper Bazoon, I think he's a good goalkeeper. It's just that his defense has been letting him down. I think he can do a job. Like I think if Leicester stay up, go to Leicester. But also Leicester's got a couple of players. I think one Castagna. I'm a big fan of Castagna. Obviously you mentioned
Nacho. I think Nacho.
Kelechi.
Yeah, someone will pick him up. Maybe just as like that second striker.
Pereira.
Facts. Declan Rice.
Bro, West Ham got borders, bro. So basically the whole team got West Ham.
Declan Rice, Paqueta,
Bowen,
Bonner,
Zuma.
Bowen.
Kurt Zuma.
And I feel like Uskamaka as well will be like, nah, I'm out of here.
Even if these players don't go to come to the Premier League.
Just the fact about Key now, like,
whatever.
The underground is not for us. But I do think though, Ulavia, like, he might even go back to Nasik to City.
I
think they have a buyback clause with Ulavia.
Because it doesn't look like Calvin Phillips is going to stay another season.
Who's the Chelsea right back?
Livramento.
But this doesn't have like injured ACL injury.
So he's back now. But I think a season in
the championship,
regular
probably until next year January.
Playing regularly, I think we'll do it.
I think next year January.
Just to play, But you see, we didn't mention 0 Nottingham Forest players because they just signed players.
But the player I think will leave is Morgan Gibson White. The number 10. Danilo, the centre mid. But he just injured or something. Depends how long he's out for. Lingard is going to the underground.
He's going down.
I was about to mention Lingard was so dumb, bro. Like Lingard had a choice to go. West Ham was like, come.
Yes. So I feel like I think Brennan Johnson, the youngster from Nottingham, might leave as well. But they don't really have that many players. The Warriors right back, boys there. I think Dean Henderson might leave, but otherwise, other than that, there's no one else from Nottingham Forest. Leeds are fun.
No. You see him like
he's gonna go down. I think
he goes down.
If they do,
I think it's got because I saw this week they were saying it's got the worst save rate or whatever I would call it.
The thing is with Melia, he's so good with his feet. But the most important part is
it's not that good.
It's not that good.
But they've got Ugnato, the Italian kid.
The winger.
Rodrigo. I don't know if Bamford stays in the Premier League.
I think he's going to leave Bamford. He might sign for like a bottom half team. Because I feel like he can still do a job, maybe score 10 goals in the league. And he can help a team stay up. Team like Palace. He can sign for Palace and go back to Palace.
Yes. Who's this guy?
Rodrigo.
Rodrigo I mentioned. But is it Jack Harrison? I like
Jack Harrison.
I'm a fan of him. And a couple of the cousins.
Ailing, what about
Ailing.
Nah.
It's going down.
I like Ailing.
Underground. With Ailing, like, Nah, man, he hasn't been that good this season. He was decent the season when Marcelo was here last season. But this season he hasn't been fit, and it's been in and out of the team as well through injuries.
All the American bowlers go down with him, you say.
Tyler Adams, he might stay in the team.
How funny is they bought that rocker guy from Bayern, Tyler Adams, McKennie is the unknown, but they still see this thing of hiring and firing is not right, bro.
Yeah,
because now he signed players. For example, Chisimosh, they signed all these American kids. For him, the next day they sack him.
Yeah, now they stuck there now.
Everton, would you see Onana, Everton.
That's it, bro. I wouldn't even sign Calvert Lewin, bro.
Nah, I feel
a hooper there in the championship. Honestly,
I feel like Lewin will stay fit in the Premier League, dog.
Pickford as well, actually. Pickford. He's got his mistakes, but I don't think he's too good for the championship, bro.
Because you might also think, by saying my Indian place, if I go to the underground,
definitely.
I might not be.
It will be, yes, too. It will be, but it will be only it's been like the only stellar performer. Him and Onana.
He's been their player of the season. Him and Onana, it's between them two. Yeah,
I could see him going to the Palace if like Zaha.
Yeah, actually, you're seeing the fit.
Ballers FC.
Like South London ballers, dog. I see him actually fit. I see him too fit.
But yeah, man.
But I think that's
shout out school. I forgot about Palace. I mean, sorry, Everton, because they just it's so lackluster this season, Everton, bro. But now, like, we're almost gonna wrap it up. So school, I'll start with you, bro. Like now, it's like we're gonna come back to these ones, bro. Like your choices to go down.
Southampton.
Yeah, I think Southampton is really. Can agree.
So the two.
Yeah.
18 and 19.
Southampton. Everton, and I think Leeds are going down, bro.
You go, sorry.
Who did Everton have, bro? Who Everton playing?
Everton has. Let's just quickly check here. Everton has Brighton away, Man City at home, Wolves away, and Bournemouth at home.
Nah, Southampton, Everton. Leeds, I think those are the teams that are going down.
For me, I have Southampton. I have actually the three that's there. They're going down.
So who's the three that's there?
It's Southampton, Everton, and Forest. I think Leeds might just have enough because of Big Sam fit. I would like to think the same for Everton and Sean Dyche, but I think it's too late for them. When the fixtures are hard on them. So I think the three that's there now, they come to that.
It's sad of me to say Everton because we basically in the Premier League we grew up watching Everton.
Those guys they used to challenge for European spots, like top four.
They were like the Spurs. They were Spurs like the teams.
Next up, So like, hey, Everton, dog.
Goodison Park. You were good.
It's over.
But I see them coming back up again.
So
because of John Dyche.
So I was about to say just last Thursday, now just on Arsenal.
Oh yeah, we have Newcastle, St James's Park. I'll take a 1-0, like a scrappy 1-0 win, like a scrappy, like I'm talking about own goal scrappy.
Yes.
It's gonna be a tough match for you to St James's Park is rocking, dog. Like those guys. Anything can happen.
I'm saying title race wise, anything can still happen.
Nah, Fit, I haven't given up.
That's what I wanted you to say.
Nah, not at all, Fit. Not at all, dog.
It's over, bro.
It's fine, dog. It's fine.
Yeah, no, I wanted James to speak. United, we caught now in the top 4 race. My reputation's on the line here. I said in February, it's not done. I said in March, we're done. Don't disappoint me, guys. My rep's on the line here. Schools.
It's over, bro. Hopefully Chelsea gets 1 point. 40 points, we survive. But I think City has the lead, bro. They won it, bro.
Not over.
To be honest, I want Arsenal to win, bro. Don't get me wrong. I'm tired of City have turned the Premier League into a farmers league, bro. So I'd be happy to see
5 titles in 6 years.
Yeah, bro. But you just can't deny that, bro. And they have that freak of nature, bro. I think they're gonna win the Champions League even now, bro. To be honest with you. So for me, it's done, bro. It's done out here. Unless City have like a 4, because they have 2 games in hand.
They've won.
One game in hand. Yeah, sorry, 1 game in hand. And man, they've won it for me, bro. Unfortunately, like
not over until the fat lady sings later.
It's not over, dog. It's not over. Like, all we have to do is just make sure we pitch up at St James's Park and not that bullshit we played last season for top 4. Yeah,
But yeah, I think we'll wrap it up there. Relegation talk was nice with the homies. Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
You know where to follow us and find us, guys.
Peace and love.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
Wish I be leaning on tongue. Wish I be leaning on tongue. It's all. Wish I be leaning on tongue. Wish I be, yeah.